everybody, welcome back to the channel. We did a poll and my next video was supposed to be a little bit about farm history, but ended up getting the feed grinder out to grind some feed, so I think I'm going to go this direction for this week and try and get that other one here in the future. Figured I'd just give you guys a better idea how this feed grinder works. I'm grinding ear corn today with it. You have a PTO shield that comes in here and runs this hammer mill. And the way this works, open it up, is there's a screen in here, which if I take this special little wrench, I can loosen it up, pull it out. You guys can see we've got these hammers in here that swing around at a high rate of speed, and as the ear corn comes up the loading auger and down into here, it busts the ear corn up against the screen to get it ground to the size that you'd want it. Now, if you were trying to do something and get a really fine grind on it, I believe this is a 1/4 inch screen. They have a whole pile of different screens for them. Again, this one I think I mentioned is a 3/4 inch screen, and that's what I use for ear corn. Get it put back in here. I guess I should mention while we're standing here. Oops, I like to push. Oh, there it is. Around that, so I don't lose it. Say you were wanting to run shelled corn in through here and you didn't want to grind it. This door flips open. I left it unlatched so I can show you. And this main flywheel here, you can push this in and it will disconnect the hammer mill. So more or less you could just auger it in there and run shelled corn directly into the mixer, which I used to do. I used to mix about half shelled corn and half ear corn ground with a 3/4 inch screen. But anyways, after it's ground or whatever you want through there, the auger runs it into the mixing tank here. And this here is just to help get rid of some of the dust. There's a blower fan over here to help run it. But it goes into this mixing tank. And there's a vertical auger in here, which I'll put some footage from one of my last videos. I was inside working it, and you guys can see what it looks like in there. The ground corn comes out of this auger right here, and as it builds up, this auger mixes it and pulls it up this tube, and it has paddles on the top to wing it out around the top. And then as it mixes, it'll go down inside the mixer and go back up through the top. If you want to put like oats like we're going to do today and some supplement, and say you had basically any kind of supplement or additive you want that you don't want ground, this here is called the mineral box, and you can dump it in here and it will feed directly in there without grinding it up into the mixing tub there. Down here by my foot is the mineral auger, where if you want to put mineral or put additives in it that you don't want going through the grinder, they can come in this way. To unload this, you just come back here and I'll give you a little look here if I can get this out. You just come back here and you can open this, and as you can see, some of the ground corn is in there right now, and it'll basically, as that paddle goes around, it'll push it out into this auger, which will run up. This is supposed to be hydraulic, however I blew some really long, probably 20-foot hoses on this, so they're off right now. I just dropped them off today. They should get fixed. It hasn't worked since I got it back out. And actually, when we had Grandpa's old barn, it was easier for me to push this out, lower the auger, walk it around with the extension on it, and then raise it up and back it into Grandpa's barn, and then stand in the hayloft and move it by hand up there. That way I wouldn't have to walk across the hayloft, go down the stairs, walk all around the barn, and come out and move the tractor one way or the other with the hydraulics. So I unhooked this chain, but I think I'm going to get a new one and put it back on, and this hydraulic motor here is what rotates the auger. This one I was talking about up here just does the up and down motion of the grinder auger or unloading auger. As you can see, there's a big bowl ring here, and there's a little job in there that rotates, and it'll either make it go up or down. I noticed today one of the switch valves has a hydraulic leak on it, so the one hydraulic will run the loading auger, and then if I come over here and I push this button in, it switches it to the rotation portion of the discharge auger, which I'm not sure how long it is, I can't remember, but I've got the long unloading auger on it. I have the scales since I quit feeding cattle and drug it back out. There's something wrong with it. I didn't bother hooking it up. I'd like to have that fixed again. And then I guess we probably should have started over here with the loading auger. Basically whatever you're running in just drops in there and goes up the flighting and drops into the hammer. As you can see, we're doing a pretty good job mixing up some feed. If you want, we can go up top and look down inside and see what it looks like. Well, as you can see, the feed comes up this auger, and these paddles wing it out around the sides, which it looks like this ear corn is starting to bridge a little bit in places, so I need to get something less dense in it to get it moving again. Yeah, the load's a little lopsided in here. Usually we put the spokes and supplement stuff in first. That way there's something in there to help move the ear corn, so that way it doesn't get plugged up, which I probably should have just waited today, but I didn't. I'm sure once we get her going, she'll loosen up. Then over here, pulling the wagon with the ear corn in it, is the trusty D17, one of my more favorite tractors. Grandpa bought this one brand new. It's the only tractor he ever bought brand new.